All right, number 2 on the old docket. What else do you have on the docket, Frankie? Country Club and Rosenblather. As you know, they have a podcast. It's called Jets Final Drive. I don't know why it's a final drive. Nobody knows. But, these two idiots talk, and one of the reasons you have to pay attention to them, I do anyway, is because they do have sources. They do talk to people. They are professional journalists. That is for sure. Now, they're also hacks and dicks and douchebags. And in Country Club's case, a narcissist. But that's all fine and good. But the fact of the matter is that these people are very thin-skinned. And when you criticize them, they block you on X like they blocked me. If you want to see me dunking on media people all day long, follow me on X at Flatbush Frankie. Why not? Open an account. I dunk on these people. It's funny. You laugh. I laugh. It's fun and funny. So, what did they have to say of relevance, Frankie? I don't want to watch their stupid podcast. Yeah, you don't have to. I did. According to Connor Hughes, we're definitely having a losing season next year. So, chin up, Jets fans. Country Club Connor wants you to know your team's going to suck for another year. And the reason he says that is he doesn't see a way to getting a really good quarterback. I think it's Malik Willis for us, but, even if we do get Malik Willis, is no sure thing, of course. He only has 6 starts in the NFL. He has looked really good as a Packer, but the sample size is too small to really feel good about it. But if you got a guy like Willis, and then you backed him up with a Mariota, who's much better than people think, but he gets injured all the time. That's the problem. And then maybe in the second round, you take a flyer on a Ty Simpson. Could be something. But the way to the team being good is really not that hard to imagine. Willis, what if Willis has first-round talent? Everybody knew that. He slipped to the third round because he needed to develop. He needed more reps. And people didn't think he was ready, so he went to the third round. All right. Well, now it's 4 years later. So has he developed enough in that Packer system there to become good? Well, no one would know, but it's a decent dice throw. And then if that fails, you back him up with Mariota. Maybe you could scratch out some wins there. Because Mariota is better than people think if he could stay healthy. So there is a way to a winning season. Now, what about the defense? Well, first of all, that's the offense. I think it could be much better with a functional quarterback. That's the basics of that. Plus what we're going to add in the draft and free agency. Especially if we get AVT back. What about the defensive coordinator position? Well, per Connor Hughes, the coaching agents know everything. So he's revealing to you it's all about the agents. You got to know about the agents. That's why I talked to you about Malik Willis and David Mulugeta, because the same thing holds true for the player agents as is true for the coaching agents. And per Connor, these coaching agents know everything about everything because they're negotiating. They have multiple clients, and the clients they don't have, their friends have. So they just call their friends, say, what's going on with this? Now, Connor said he called one of these agents, probably Mulugeta if I had to guess, or maybe Jeff Ulbricht's old agent. And the agent said that the Jets want to keep the search news in-house. They don't want any of the DC names leaking out, so they're trying to limit the information that goes out to the media. That's a little bit risky, but if you're losing as a team, the media is going to kill you no matter what you do. You could be talkative, you could be not talkative. So to me, you got to win, and then the media will at least be neutral. But then on top of that, I think it's good that the Jets are doing that. They should be trying to keep a tight ship. The problem there, though, is that once you start losing again, then people start worrying about their jobs. Then they start trying to create narratives in the media, like maybe put in a good word for me. Maybe tell people I'm a hot candidate, Connor. The agent will say, my guy is a hot candidate, like Jeff Ulbrich. Connor Hughes lied to you and told you Jeff Ulbricht's a hot head coaching candidate. Everybody wants this guy, Jeff Ulbrich. Well, he got 0 head coaching interviews. So does anybody call out Connor Hughes for the bullshit that he sprays? Now, the problem is that sometimes he puts out good information, and sometimes he puts out bullshit that the agent wants out there, and it's hard for you to know which is which. And that's part of the game that these motherfuckers play, and that's part of the reason why FSPN is here. I think you should subscribe to this channel because we bring you information nobody else does. And so it would behoove you to click the subscribe button. If you want to support us financially, which I think you should, and when I say us, it's just me. I got no producers. I got no executive assistants. I got no butlers. I got no maids. I got nothing. I got this fucking web camera and this microphone. And that's about it. And this laptop over here. And so if you want to throw in $2 a month, you can join the inner circle. $2 a month. Why not? Maybe go to the upper level, $5. Because those people get even more exclusive information, scouting, like college quarterback scouting. Want to know their grades? Well, the Inner Circle members know. So click the join button if you want to do that. But this is what's the problem with these fuckheads who are media people. Now, he did say in his winding diatribe about, I'm a professional journalist, this isn't a hobby, everybody. That Wink Martindale is currently the favorite out of the group of 8, the ignominious 8. He did also say there were 2 major DC names who told the Jets no thank you for the interview. Now, I did tell you that. Joe Mike, I think, brought it up on Coffee with Frankie. We do a live show every Sunday, 10 a.m., Coffee with Frankie. That's where you should put your questions, not in the comments down below. Write them down, save them for Sunday, ask me live on Sunday. Doesn't do anybody any good to write any stupid comments in the below the video. Nobody cares about that. But if you write them live, I can give you a live explanation, which may take a long time, may require a lot of context. You think I'm going to write 17 paragraphs of a reply in the comments? No. Save it for Sunday. Bring it to bear. And we'll discuss it. But I also told you that, yeah, people like Radio Raheem Morris and other high-profile DCs, maybe Chris Shula, people like that, they're not necessarily going to take the interview with the Jets. We got to crawl the fuck out of the ghetto of the NFL into the middle class before we can start being respectable. Which is reason number 2,000. You should be rooting for Aaron Glenn to develop into a really good coach, and that somehow we find a quarterback who knows his ass from his elbow and can at least be middle of the pack, and we can get an offense, and that then we figure out how to play defense. It's a lot of stuff. But I do think if it's Wink and he wants to do a 3-4, we could run a bare front very easily. This is probably a separate video, but a 3-4 with a bare front with Arvell Reese drafted makes a lot of sense, because then on your overhangs, you could have Arvell Reese and Willie McDonald, and your 3 in the middle are pretty good with Phillips and Briggs and Johnson. All right, now I don't know if Johnson can play that 3-eye, but maybe can. If not, then you just switch him out with Willie Mack, and you do half and half there, and you find one more defensive tackle. Not that difficult. We could find one at number 16 in the draft, Caden McDonald, for example. Now you have your front fixed. Sign Anzalone and Malcolm Rodriguez and Sherwood. There's your front line linebacker fixed, and sign a safety. That's not hard to do. You sign a safety for $8-9 million, a good one, and you draft your second one in the second round there, whether that's the kid from LSU or the kid from Oregon or one of these safeties. There's a bunch, and with that 44th pick, well, you can get one. So now how's the defense looking? You run it back with Stevens and A.Z. Thomas and Jarvis Brownlee as your cornerbacks. That's pretty good, not elite or anything. Now you have a front that can stop the run, You can go NASCAR package, with some other guys that you're going to have to sign as free agents. You could have a respectable defense pretty easily as long as you don't trade that number 2 pick, take Arvell Reese, get Wink Martindale, run a 3-4 bear front, which is actually 5 defensive linemen, but those 2 are overhang linebackers that you can bring, not bring, stunt, all this confusion and disguise, which is what Wink would want to do and what you need to do if you don't have elite personnel everywhere. And there you go. That's how you fix the team. Now, there's a lot of ifs in there, but can Malik Willis play good for more than 6 games? Do we get Martindale? Is that what he wants to do with the front? We don't know these questions, but it's not really out of the question that we could have a respectable season, like an 8-9 win season. It's not out of the realm of possibility, I'm saying. And if it is Willis, the nice thing about Malik Willis, if it hits, he's 26. So it's not like you're running it back with Kirk Cousins or something and you got no future with the guy. He's a 26-year-old. So if he hits, extension, baby, 5-year extension, there's your QB. And then next year with all the first-round picks, you got a lot. I mean, what if Willis hit? The defense is, 20th instead of 31st, which is what we were in DVOA. So we go from 31 to 20. Okay, it's still not dominant or anything, but at least decent. And Willis hits, and the offense is average, 15th, 14th. And can we win 9 games with that? And if you won 9 games and basically tripled your win total from year 1 to year 2, then I think Glenn is safe. Martindale's happy. Engstrand's in place. Willis gets an extension, and we roll. And we got 3 first-round picks in 27. So that's a lot of ifs in there. But what else are we going to... do we want to just give up like Country Club Connor says we should? Country Club Connor just basically said you shouldn't be a Jet fan anymore. In this, because we don't have we can't get any quarterbacks, and we're definitely for sure having a losing season. And then if we have another losing season, like a bad losing season, like 3, 4, 5 wins, and if that happens, then Glenn's going to get fired, and then who's going to want this job, and where are we going to be? That's his vision of the future. I just gave you a different vision of the future. If you like my vision of the future, please subscribe to the channel. It's free. Click the subscribe button down below. Now, the other thing that these 2 losers said was Zach Rosenblatt said he believes, based on his reporting, that the O-line, tight end, and wide receiver coaches safe. And that's fine. I was thinking maybe we could get this Coach Ledyard from Atlanta, and maybe you could switch, because the O-line coach was a rookie O-line coach, but he did a nice job, obviously. But the tight end coach, Coach Blasco, I was thinking maybe we could switch the O-line coach over to tight end where he was before, Coach Hayden, and then get Coach Ledyard in here. He's a guy who got swept out with Raheem Morris down in Atlanta, and he's a well-known, well-regarded O-line coach. So I was thinking maybe we could steal him, get Coach Hayden with the linebackers, say bye-bye to Blasco, or if he wants to stay on as assistant linebacker coach or something, fine. Something like that I was hoping for. But according to Zach Rosenblather, those 3 are safe. He's efforting, trying to find out about Coach London. Everybody wants London to fall. London Bridge is falling down. All the Jet fans want him out because our quarterbacks played like terrible, and they think that the quarterback coach somehow controls how the quarterback plays. That's not how it works. But anyway, in any case, it would be nice to have an upgrade there in terms of like a story, like a narrative. One idea I have is Chad Pennington. Does he have any experience coaching, Frankie? Well, yeah, he has 8 years head coaching experience at the high school level. So 8-year head coach high school level is a perfect entry point to quarterback coach in the NFL, especially when he was an NFL quarterback for about 10, 11, 12 years, whatever it was for Chad. And no, I'm not going to do it. I have some information, but I'm not going to give it out right at this time. I'm going to be a good jerk.